Hello again, everybody. It's TJ, the Stereo-Bargainphile, and you all guessed it. Once again, I am very pumped up today to bring you all my complete overview of the Triangle Borea 3 loudspeaker bookshelf speaker. And first and foremost, I want to give Triangle and Frank, who works at Triangle, a big thank you for sending these loudspeaker bookshelf speakers into the channel for an overview. So the first thing I want to get at is the price. The price of the Triangle Borea 3 loudspeaker bookshelf speaker in the United States is $549 US. And if you're interested in buying these speakers, I highly recommend Audiolab. I've been dealing with Audiolab for years now, and they are an outstanding company. And I will also, down below in the description box, I will upload their link. I will also upload Triangle's link in case you want to dig and look at other speakers that they have. Okay, so starting out with this overview today, I'm going to go over just a couple specs, and we will go over the overall dimensions, the size of the speaker, and get a really close-up look of everything with the camera. And then if you see the three speakers in behind me today, those speakers are around the same price of the Triangle Borea 3 bookshelf speakers. So I want you all to get a better perspective of the size and the build quality of the Triangle. And then I'm going to go over my humble opinion of the complete sound performance overall to me of the Triangle Borea 3 bookshelf speaker. And then we're going to take a close look at the drivers. Got some nice heavy size magnets. And then I'm going to take you all inside the speaker box because I've got to show you all the crossover, and I got to show you all the internal bracing. One thing I got to say is the engineers at Triangle, they really knocked this one out of the park. So let's go ahead and I'll get the size dimensions for you with a tape measure in hand. The speaker is right at 15 inches tall. It is almost a foot deep, about 11 7/8 deep. That's pretty deep. And then across the front, we are right at 8 inches going across. So that is a pretty good size speaker. Now I'm getting ready to pause it, and we're going to take a closer look at it. But first I want to go over a couple of the specs. The frequency response of this speaker goes down to 46 Hertz all the way up to 22 kilohertz. They're rated at all the way up to 100 watts, and they are its efficiency is 90 dB. That's right, 90 dB efficiency. So for me, that already tells me that these speakers are pretty easy to drive. As you see here on the front, we got a 1-inch soft dome tweeter, silk dome tweeter. And down here on the bottom, the driver is a 6-inch paper driver. And I just love that paper sound. But anyways, I need to go ahead and pause it real quick so we can get you all a better look of the outside. And one thing I want to say, this is the ash black model. They do have these in white and walnut also. And this is a vinyl wrap, just like my other speakers that are behind me. So let's go ahead and get a close look. Okay, here we are at the front of the speaker, but before I here is the cloth grills that cover the front. Get you all a good look. You can see it's got nice size magnets on it. Let's go ahead and put it on. You can see it goes on very tightly. Still looks really cool. This is such a gorgeous looking speaker. Oh, I love the looks of this speaker. So you'll see up here at the top, let's start at the top. Looks like we have a nanny guard right here. But that's actually not a nanny guard. They actually call that, it acts like a phase plug that breaks up frequencies. And it does a good job at that. Then you can see this acts as a waveguide for us all the way around here. And this is it's made out of rubber, and what that rubber will do, it will help soften up those frequencies when it comes out. And it will help with vibrations also. I got a lot of light on it right now so you all can see it. Then down here below, you see we got our 6-inch driver, which is 100% paper driver, which is lightweight, good for speed, easy to drive, and good dampening factor. And you see here in the middle, it looks like a phase plug. Looks like a bullet phase plug right here. But that isn't a bullet phase plug. That is just the dust cap. And the reason why Triangle went with this one and they glued it down very well, and I will show you that on the close-up of the driver I took out. But they glued this down really good and used this strong bullet looking face plug thing here to keep from any air escaping. Then around here we have rubber surrounds. Now one thing that is really smart that the engineers did on the speaker, you all, is you see this rubber seal that goes all the way around. Well, I've taken a lot of speakers apart, and normally this, rubber seal is connected to the box of the speaker. Well, Triangle engineers were very smart to actually attach that to the outside casing right here, the outside basket, to help, calm down any kind of ringing effect. Triangle was very smart for doing that, and I'm going to go over that here in a minute. Then down here at the bottom, yes, we have our double barrel bass ports. Boy, this is a gorgeous looking speaker, and it does not shuffle. I do have speakers that shuffle. I'm getting tongue tied, sorry about that. But these speakers don't do that. A lot of air moves out of here. It has no problem moving any air out at all. Okay, now let's go to the back of the speaker. Okay, now we're at the back of the box of the speaker. I do got a lot of light on this for you, and as you can see down here, we have our 5-way binding post and our nice little plate by Triangle. These are all metal, and I must say, I use banana plugs, and it holds my plugs in so tightly. Yes, it's all metal. Pretty simple. Being a 100-watt speaker and a 6-inch driver, really don't need to buy them because it doesn't take a lot of power to get these speakers going at 90 dB efficient. Now, I heard people talking about how this speaker was made in the back, which I think it's fine because even my KEF speakers over here, my KEF Q100 that were the exact same price, they're like that also. Okay. There, I turned the light off, but this stamp plate looks really nice. Now, some of you may know what I'm talking about. When it's kind of dark in my room and I'm switching out speakers where they made this black and the positive and negative in white, I can actually see that. That's really nice, but these are good sized speakers. So I wanted to give you all a good perspective of the overall build quality and size of the Triangle Borea 3 loudspeaker bookshelf speaker. Such a gorgeous looking speaker. Next to it is the KEF Q100. Then we have the Klipsch Reference Premier 160 monitor, which is a little different than the Klipsch 600M because on the 160 we have the angle plate at the bottom. Then on the very end we have the JBL Studio 530. Now that one was $600 US new, Klipsch was $549 new, and KEF was $549 new. And up here, if you all want to look at the sizes, I'm not going to do this for a long time because you all can pause it. So you can see that the Triangle has got good build quality for its price point. Its vinyl wrap is just as good, if not better, than the other 3 speakers. And it's got some good size to it. Okay. Now, real quick, because I don't want to take up a lot of your all's time, because I want y'all to come back and watch my videos. But anyways, I'm going to go through this real quick in my subjective, humble opinion of the total performance character of the Triangle Borea 3 loudspeaker bookshelf speaker. I use 7 different amplifiers with this speaker, and out of those 7 amplifiers, on a budget, the Iotavx SA3 digital integrated amp done a terrific job at 45 watts at 8 ohms and 90 watts at 4 ohms. It handled this speaker very well. I was actually shocked. Now on my mid-grade amplifier, my Yamaha AS-1100 had really good synergy with the Triangle Borea loudspeaker bookshelf speaker also. I mean, the Yamaha, I was almost speechless. If you own a Yamaha AS-1100 and you're looking, for a bookshelf speaker that's got good drive and good loudness to it and good bass, this may be the speaker for you. But I'm going to go ahead and go over my subjective opinion of the overall sound performance. And I'm going to start with the low end. The low end overall has a warm and inviting character to it. You get a very good sense of weight and heftness to it. Some would say a fullness. The low end also has good speed and agility, what I call quickness. but the low end, while being strong and stern, very strong and stern, it's not overly thick. So you get a more quality of bass that's accurately detailed and more in tuned balanced, with the mid-range and top end allowing a smooth transition between the driver and the tweeter. This is one of the advantages I noticed over other speakers around the same price point as the Triangle Borea 3 loudspeaker bookshelf speaker. So yes, the bass has a very good stern punch to it that drops surprisingly low to 46 Hertz while still maintaining speed, agility, and accurate detail. Even at high volume, the bass doesn't bleed off. It stays tightened up. And now I'm going to go to what I thought about the mid-range or the main body. Let's start out with the vocals, which to me is the star of the show. The male and female vocals have outstanding definition that leans towards naturalness. The male and female vocals never sounded too chesty or sibilant. Male vocals didn't suffer from what I call the sassy S syndrome. That's right, the sassy S syndrome. And even with Michael Bubé's vocals are held together nicely. Then female vocals such as Susan Wong to Nora Jones are so clean and natural. They have an overall naturalness to it. And the vocals of the, I'm going to call them now the Bro 3, the vocals of the Bro 3 for its price point are outstanding. So now on to the instruments. The instruments overall have very good timbre, meaning the tone of the notes are very recognizable. There's plenty of air in between the instrument. The guitar strings, when strung, have excellent decay. It's not overly drawn out. Now the mid-range punch with drums have a realism of texture to them. And I believe this is from the paper drivers having good dampening factor. So I don't get that ringing resonance effect. Overall, the mid-range or main body to me is a little forward, but it integrates good with the low and high frequencies, beautifully bringing good tonal balance. So now I'm going to get into the top end. In my humble opinion, the top end of the Triangle Borea 3 loudspeaker bookshelf speakers have a smooth, forward sound character. I would call this velvety. A friend of mine said he wouldn't call it velvety, but I think it's forward, but it's velvety. It's just really smooth. But the top end still has plenty of sparkle and excitement. And now instruments like flutes and violins that have high pitches are free-flowing without being too congested or overly bright, allowing you to be pulled into the music for long periods of time. But there's still a lot of detail retrieval while riding on the border of being analytical, meaning a high level of detail. And that's pretty much my wrapped up of the overall sound character. I'm going to go ahead and pause this real quick for you all. And I based that, my review of the speaker, I based that on using the Iotavx SA3. That's a 45 watt amplifier at 8 ohms and 90 watts at 4 ohms. And I also based that on using the Yamaha AS-1100. And I was speechless with the AS-1100. I mean, to me, you all, these are one of the most musical speakers I have owned at this price point. And I've been into this for a long time, y'all. It's just very musical. Sounds really good overall. It just check marks so many boxes. A lot more boxes than my other speakers do. So yes, the Triangle Borea 3 loudspeaker bookshelf speaker is my favorite speaker under $600 US. So now let's take a good look at the driver and the inside of the speaker box. Okay, I'm going to do the best I can, you all, showing you this complete driver. And I will say Triangle makes all their own drivers. So here you can see we got our 6-inch paper. This is complete paper driver. Here in the middle, that is not a phase plug, that is a dust cap. And if you look in there, Triangle put some good glue around that to keep it really tight so air wouldn't escape. And then we'll go down here and look on the bottom. And this is a hefty magnet, you all. As you can see, it's paper on the other side. Now, I may have to turn this light off now. Here, let's get the light. There we go. It was just a little bit too bright. Over here we have our speaker connectors. These are sturdy Spider there. Now let's go look how big this magnet is. And even got a breathing hole there at the bottom of it. And as you can see, let's get you out of light. It says Triangle. This is their own driver. Let me get this in good for y'all. There you go. Triangle. And as you'll see here on the sides, which I'm going to have to turn the light back on, you got these little cutouts. And what these little cutouts are doing, let's get you some light again. It's the only way you're going to see in here. Now you can see the voice coil inside there. And these little cutouts are helping keep it cool. But this is a heavy magnet, especially to be a 6-inch driver. This magnet is heavier than the one. But yes, this is a very stout magnet, you all. To be for a 6-inch driver, the Klipsch Reference Premier 160 monitor speaker, I think it's 6.5 inch, and it's not heavy. It doesn't have this heavy of a magnet, but Triangle does make their own drivers. Now you'll see the basket is just made out of steel, and we know how steel can have a ringing effect, but Triangle engineers were so smart. Instead of having this ring snap into the box like most speakers of mine do, this ring actually goes on there. It has double-sided tape. It sticks down really good. They glued it in 4 spots, and it has double-sided tape. And when this is taped down, you can already see it's taken away from that resonance. But when I go inside the box and show you how the engineers designed and had all the how the engineers done all the bracing inside, you all are going to be very impressed with this. So let me pause it real quick. Okay, let's go inside the box. Do you all see this big bracing they put all the way across? And yes, I'm going to get you all a better picture because I'm going to move some of this dampening material out. As you can see, they really dampened up the whole inside of the box. And I love, it was so smart how they done that internal bracing. There's just 3 pieces. Let me take one piece out. Okay, I took that one piece on the far back out. Then there's one piece down here on the bottom, but the other piece goes all the way up and down. I'm not taking that one out, but you can see, you can pause it if you want to. You can see now I pushed up on the sides how Triangle really done a good job of bracing this speaker. They done an outstanding job. This takes up 75% of the box. And another thing that Triangle did, let's take a look at their 2-way crossover. Let me move this out of the way for you all. There is. Now you can pause it if you want. I just don't want to miss anything. Yeah, we're missing stuff. Sorry moving around so much, y'all. I'm trying to do my best. There you all go. There is the crossover, which looks like some really nice capacitors by Triangle. Okay. Oh, what's that say on the actual cable? So the internal cable actually says, let's get that in. Here you all go. It actually says Triangle High Purity Oxygen Free Copper Cable. And it's really thick. Good job, Triangle. Now another awesome thing that Triangle did on this front brace, you can see a cutout right here. And that's where that magnet will set in here, but it doesn't touch. What happens, the side of the basket that holding the driver, the actual basket that's kind of like the frame of the woofer, it is pushed up against this, and you can see when you screw it down and tighten it down on these soft rubber pads, these absorb any kind of ringing effect that basket may have. That was so smart. Engineers at Triangle, you all knocked this one out of the park. And again, down here on the bottom, we have our double barrel bass ports. But yeah, outstanding job. I was wondering why this speaker was grounded so good and had that good bass and not a lot of ringing effect. Well, I know now. They actually grounded that basket down to their brace that braces the speaker box. Awesome job, Triangle. I got to tell you all, that is some really impressive engineering done by Triangle. So Triangle engineers, I just want to tell you all, bow! You all knocked that one completely out of the park. I mean, using, the piece, the outer ring to dampen down the speaker here, then how you braced inside and use that brace also to keep that ringing effect down and keeping the speaker really grounded down, keeping away from that resonance. That was awesome. But anyways, I want to go ahead and get to my conclusion, and that'll wrap this up. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I highly recommend that you don't open these up yourself, because if you do, Triangle told me that it will 100% void your warranty. So I done this for you all. So here's my conclusion. First of all, I am blown away at the price point of the Triangle Borea 3 loudspeaker bookshelf stand mount speaker. Especially nowadays with budget speakers having much better performance than budget speakers of 6 or 7 years ago. In my humble opinion, the Bro 3s check off so many characters overall performance that it's hard for me to find any caveats at this price point. I have owned many budget speakers around this price point, and I'm just going to call them the Bro 3, and yes, the Triangle are my favorite speaker at this price point, because to me, this speaker is so much fun. First, the bass is so impressive. Second, the vocals and dialogues are so natural sounding. 3, the Bro 3 has very, very good timbre, which means tones of notes are recognizable. 4th, there's a surprising amount of sparkle and excitement in the top end that doesn't have that metallic sound to it, and it's not overly bright to me. 5th, the speaker does not require big power or expensive power to sound great, and they're easy, to push. They're 90 dB efficiency at 8 and they're 8 ohm speaker. The speaker lays out a very wide sound stage with good depth to it. Even that little ring that I was showing you around the 1-inch silk dome tweeter, it really helps soften up those frequencies. And then, that little nanny guard in the front of it, they call it like a face plug. It does help with the frequencies also. So the 7th thing is the dynamics. These speakers are so dynamic. I mean, they have some real life to them. 8, instrument separation is outstanding with plenty of air in between the instruments, even on speedy music playback. I don't hardly hear any smearing effects, which is outstanding for its price point. Other speakers I have owned in this price point doesn't have that overall total performance. The only speakers that I have had performance like that were $1,000 plus. So, I used 7 amplifiers I tested with the Bro 3 to find that good synergy. 2 of my amps sounded outstanding. The best for a budget that I have on hand was the Iotavx SA3. The Iota being really balanced, neutral with a hint of warmth, had very good synergy with the Bro 3 speakers. Also on a mid-grade amplifier, the Yamaha AS-1100, which is muscular, full sounding with real weight, strong bass, a little forward mid-range with warmth, and a powerful, rich top end overall. That amplifier, I was just going over what it sounded like, paired up beautifully with the AS-1100. If you own a Yamaha AS-1100 and looking for a budget speaker, you really need to try these out, because they are my favorite speaker under $600. And until next time, this is TJ, the Stereo-Bargainphile. And also, if you're looking for any other reviewers on the Triangle Borea 3 loudspeaker bookshelf speaker, I highly recommend Sean at Zero Fidelity. He done a review of these speakers, and also Thomas at Thomas and Stereo done an overview of these speakers. Now, if you're interested in the Tower, what are they, the Bro 8s, I think Ron at New Record Day, he actually done an overview or a review of those speakers also. It's been a long time since I watched them, because I wanted to give my own opinion overall of these speakers. And yeah, they're outstanding. One thing I learned in audio is with audio, when there's a lot of hype, something's got to be right. And it is with the Triangle Borea loudspeaker bookshelf speakers. Yes, I almost forgot, but I remembered. I'm going to show you all the back of the 1-inch silk dome tweeter. So let's go inside. And there you all have it. I did not want to take this 1-inch soft dome tweeter out because I didn't want to mess the alignment up. But there you have it, folks. One more time. There's the crossover. 3-section brace. Dampening. Keep the ringing away from the speakers. Also up here, this is soft with your nanny guard. Okay, I just didn't want to forget anything. So until next time, this is TJ, the Stereo-Bargainphile.